Hi everyone, it's Kelly with Kelly's Bead Boutique. So today is going to be just a little bit different video in that I'm not going to be doing a tutorial. But please stick around because there'll be lots of information on here and maybe it'll be something just a little bit different for you. All right, so if you watched my live video on Wednesday, you knew that it was a painful day for many of us in the bead world. We lost a very important YouTuber. I lost a customer that day, and we had the horrible announcement from TierraCast that they were closing up shop at the end of the year. I was literally dry heaving. I almost fell to my knees. It was like a death to me. I struggled so much for 48 hours that I honestly did not want to continue. I just said to my husband, well, I guess I'm done. I don't know, because I had always said that if TierraCast ever closed, I would probably have to close my business because over 40% of my sales come from TierraCast in the form of individual components and of course in my kits. If you look back at my almost 300 videos that I have, I would say probably good, 80, 90% of my pieces have TierraCast in them. So the thought of never having the access to those beautiful US made, great quality components was just something that I couldn't even wrap my head around. I said to my staff the other day, oh my gosh, I'm never going to see a new piece of TierraCast again. And I know this might sound silly, but for somebody who's been doing this for a very long time and always using TierraCast, it was devastating. One of my girlfriends is a very talented lampwork artist. She phoned me in a panic and she's like, oh my gosh, the thing that I use the most, I can't get again. It's all sold out. And I said, I know, this is devastating to so many people in so many ways. I mean, we've got all of the staff there are just, they're walking around in shock. We've got all of the stores and the designers and consumers, just everybody's reeling from this. And so with that, I have had an onslaught, an absolute onslaught of unprecedented sales in the last week. So if your orders are a few days late, I apologize, but we just cannot keep up. I understand everybody wants to have their last sort of grab at the TierraCast. I completely understand it, but holy, it has been very, very overwhelming. Now I have probably 3,000 SKUs of TierraCast when you put in all the different colors. And so there's no way possible for me to inventory them on the website. They're inventoried in our POS, but our two systems don't speak to each other. So unfortunately, many of you are going to end up with refunds because I just can't get ahead of it. There was just too much going on in a very short period of time. We got no notice and the orders just started flying in. So I do apologize to anybody that was super excited thinking that they were going to get something and then they didn't. I mean, I've had people buying 50, 100, 150 pieces of one thing. So any stock I did have was pretty much obliterated in the first, 72 hours. But we do still have a lot of things left. There's a ton of stuff on there. So anytime you're wanting to have, good quality charms or findings, you will likely find them. And most of them that are TierraCast, if you just type in the word TierraCast, they'll come up. But I did notice a few I had neglected to put those on there. So needless to say, I was in the absolute worst funk. I didn't want to continue. I was ready to just close my doors and have a fire sale and just, say, okay, well, that's the sign from the universe that it's time for Kelly to retire. But I didn't really want to do that. I just didn't know how to do this. And so I sat in a funk for a couple days. I sort of came down here and, did my best to put some enthusiasm into the orders. And there were so many of them. So it was, like it was fevered around here. We were doing our very best. And I still couldn't get out of that. I just didn't know what to do. And, I've had to reinvent myself many times over my adult life. I've had a very challenging life. People might think that, oh, she leads this blessed life, but I've actually had a very, very tough life. I've had some serious health issues my entire life, and they're causing me horrible troubles right now, and because sometimes it's made worse by stress. And then I've had, personal issues, all sorts of things that have happened to me that none of them have been very pleasant. So what I've learned from all of that is that tomorrow comes and that somehow we are resilient and that we manage to get through it. Sometimes it just takes a moment to take a breath, think a little bit, ponder it a bit, and look for the bright side. So on Friday, I kind of just sat with my thoughts a little bit and thought, okay, what do I really want to do? Do I want to just close this and never do this again? And yeah, part of me wants to, because I'm 64 and I would love to retire. But then I'd have to move. We wouldn't be able to keep this beautiful piece of property that we've worked so hard to make our own. So, I'm juggling things. I'm throwing things in the air going, okay, well, if I do this, then, so anyway, what I decided was that I was going to take matters into my own hands and reinvent myself yet again, because, apparently I'm a master at that. So I asked my sweet husband, Rob, if he would consider giving me an entire day of his life, which he did yesterday. So we came down here and we completely tore apart the entire warehouse. Every single thing that was in this warehouse was on the tarmac out in front of the warehouse. We gutted everything. We washed everything down. All the floors are cleaned and vacuumed, all the cobwebs, because, because we do live out in the country, everything gets pretty dusty and dirty and lots of little buggies come in here. So everything was cleaned up and dusted and organized. All the excess stuff was tossed, moved out some of the old store fixtures that weren't serving us well in this environment, changed the configuration. My girls are probably going to have a heart attack when they come in on Tuesday because they're not going to know where anything is, but I'll show them. And excuse me, it's just that much more organized. So why did I do that? Well, because if things are a bit more organized and clean, then I feel like, one, it's a fresh start, and two, it calms my nerves down a bit because I'm an OCD organizer. I like to have everything just so. And often because we're so busy, we are literally just coming in here, getting your orders done, getting out the door, running out the door at 4:30 to get to the mailbox. And we don't often have time. I never know where to look. Should I be looking there? Should I be looking here? It's very weird doing these videos when I'm face on. Anyway, so if I'm looking the wrong way, I apologize. So we don't have a lot of time to clean up and organize and make it look all pretty down here. So that was what we did yesterday. And although 9.5 hours later, full of sweat because it was hot here yesterday, it was 31 degrees Celsius, which, for anybody that doesn't speak Celsius, that's really hot. And even with air conditioning, it was horrifying. It was so hot in here. So, after 9.5 hours of doing it, we went upstairs, showered, and kind of collapsed. It was just like, holy smokes, because my health problems have reared their ugly heads, so it's made that much worse. So, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I did feel a whole lot better about things. So moving forward, things are going to be completely different around here because they have to be, because I will not have my beloved TierraCast to design with. It makes me sick, it makes me sad, and I don't even know how to design without them. I know that's ridiculous, but because I've done it for so long, it's where my memory muscle goes to. So I am going to be spending some time when I have those precious few moments trying to find some new suppliers for good quality, fashionable, and cost-effective findings. Those three things in there is going to be tough. I can find pretty, but man, sometimes they're so expensive that I just can't justify it. So I'm going to be spending some time trying to find alternatives, and I'm hoping that I can find some things that make you happy. So you're going to have to be patient with me for a little while. I'm not sure how I'm going to make some new projects, because every time I go to pull something, I have an idea, and then I think, oh, I know what I'll put with that, but now I won't have that. And yes, we still do have some TierraCast, and we will have some TierraCast for a while, but I won't be able to do as many kits. So you'll see in the video that I'm going to run after this, where I give you just a little rundown of what we changed here, is that I talk about the kit section. Unfortunately, most of my kits are going to have to go because we won't have the components anymore, which is devastating because that's a huge part of my business. We're going to try and figure something out. I'm going to probably remake a bunch of them, finding new findings once all of our TierraCast is gone. But If there's one of your favorites that you really want, I would grab it in the next month or so, because I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to contain the product level that we have. So we had a fair amount, but we've run out of stock of quite a few already. So anyway, so good things. I'm not depressed. I'm sad. I'm feeling optimistic because I'm taking the bull by the horns, and I'm just gonna, I'm going to reinvent the business yet again. And it'll be okay. I know it'll all be okay. I have the support of all of you that watch me. I know you all have been super supportive with all the people that are talking about these changes and with, loss that we've suffered. And it warms our hearts to have such a community of beaders. So I'm going to run the video that I just took of the changes in the warehouse. First will be the mess. It's still kind of messy. I didn't get to my office because I ran out of steam, but I'll get to that. But it does look a lot better. And at the end of the day, it made me feel a lot better. And if I'm feeling better, then things can move forward and I don't have to sit in that. So that's my sort of advice to you. If you're stuck with something, like if you're stuck sitting in some sorrow or some grief, do the little things that you can. Sometimes it doesn't have to be climbing a mountain. It can be something small. Do something little, like a load of laundry. Just whatever it is that's going to, free you up a little bit. Just keep trying to push through. That's how I've always managed to deal with all the adversity I've had in my life, is just take a moment to grieve, push through, and then reinvent. That's sort of, I need to write a book. I would have quite a book. Again, I don't know if it would be a comedy or a tragedy or a little of both, but yeah, this is what life is about, right? It throws you all these crazy things. So thank you so much for listening. I will have a tutorial video out soon. I'm sure, I'm positive by next week, because I have a couple ideas that don't involve, using things that I have. I can come up with something. But it just might be a little on the leaner side for the next little bit, but I'm going to do my absolute very best. And make sure you come back to the website and keep looking around, because I'm going to just be buying up a storm. I'm even talking of going on a trip in a bit. That would be fun. So that's a fingers crossed. Cross your fingers for me that I get to go on a bead buying trip. I'm not going to let anything out because I don't want to jinx it, but cross your fingers, send out some prayers, whatever, that Kellie gets to go on her bead buying trip. Because one, I need a vacation to a really fun place. And two, I need to buy some beads because, I didn't have enough out there in the warehouse. You can tell when you see this video. So that's the story, and enjoy the next part of the video. And all right, so this is all of the stuff from the inside. Well, it's not all the stuff, but it's some of the stuff from the inside of the warehouse. We're lucky we've got a sunny day and everything's piled up out here so that we can clean. Sorry for the jiggles. I don't know where my hand thing is, but stuff piled everywhere. And we're going to try and rework a few things. So Rob's just washing the floor. We've moved all of our racking out, and there's piles and piles of stuff everywhere. My filming room's all torn apart. The shipping area is all torn apart, and yeah, everything's kind of a mess. But I will give you a little tour after we get it all done. Okay, so now we are on day 2, and it is looking much better. We've washed the floors. We now have this great big huge area here. What am I going to do with that? Well, maybe I can buy beads. So we've moved all of our TierraCast here. I imagine this is going to be greatly depleted because you guys are ordering like crazy. Thank you very much. We have all of our seed beads here, and then we put some tables in front to make it easier for when the girls fling those big buckets down to pull out your orders. They need something to put it on, so we've put those tables in front. This whole area just stores our extra chain, and then all of those little drawers and stuff on top. Well, all the stuff on top was my personal stuff, but we're going to take all of the stuff that's in these and turn them into some really sweet little mystery boxes. There's check glass, there's semi-precious, there's findings, there's charms, you name it, it's in there, and we're going to make some mystery boxes with those because that all needs to go. It's been sitting there forever. And then over there, we still have all our 3mm, 4mm, and 6mm faceted fire polish. And we have daggers, which we are in need of replacing because we don't have a lot over there. And then here we have our leather and all our chain. The chain's on like a hexagon thing, so it goes in 3 different places there. But this is really efficient for the girls because we have yardsticks there, or meter sticks as we call them in Canada, and they just kind of pull off your order. So when you order 10 meters, sometimes they actually have to take it off and go do it on another system because it can be a little bit laborious. And then in this aisle, so we've made aisles now. So the girls are going to come into work on Tuesday and have no idea of where everything is. But on this aisle, we have ear wires and our vegan suede and all our needles and tools. And what else do we have? Our wire and our glues and our silk threads. So we have that there. And then at the end on those small bunkers, we have more TierraCast because, I carried a lot of it. And then this last row here is very dark, so my husband is going to hang up some lights on the opposite side, and you'll see why in a sec. But over here we have all of our little base metal things. So when you order, little metal charms or single check glass or single semi-precious, that's what's in these bins. And then all those bins down there, and you can see there are a lot of them, that all contains our $5 findings. So we have a ton of $5 findings. So now the girls could just meander down here and dig in for whichever one you ordered. And is there one in that bag? Yeah, let's see. What have we got here? ABC 702. They're really cute flower beads. Those would look adorable on that new macrame bracelet that I just did. No, not the macrame. That was called crochet. That's what it is. Some days I gotta get the brain engaged. So that would look really cute. So if you're looking for a really sweet little bead to put on there, you could put ABC 702. And then right now we outside, we still have to finish off the ledges here, but we haven't had time. But outside, this is all going to be put with, what do you call it, a retaining wall next year. But right now we have, I don't know if you can see over there, but those are all blackberries. So we go out there at lunchtime and we pick blackberries and eat them. So that is a nice little perk for the girls. And of course, my dog loves to run around out there. So, and here's our semi-precious wall. And you can see it's, it goes down and up and all the way over here. And then down there, we have now put all of the Chinese crystal in order. I wish I'd set this up a bit more like a warehouse versus something that you could see. But for me, because I'm designing so much, I needed to be able to see everything. So this works well for me, maybe not for warehouse picking, but it works for us. We've got it all figured out. And you can see how long that goes. So we have a lot of semi-precious. And then we have back here, because we ran out of room, we have more of the Chinese crystal hanging in bags. And those are all in order. So when the girls need to pick, that's where they come back here. And then this is my favorite wall. It's a little dark here, so Rob's going to put up some more lights. But this is the check glass wall for the most part. This has the rondelles and the flowers and the melon beads and the spacer discs and the rose, the wild rose beads. And I think that's all that is in there. So that's always nice and juicy and full and lots of great colors on there. And then I'm just going to try to turn you around so that you don't get too dizzy. So we did this for 9.5 hours yesterday. It was a lot of work. And of course it was extremely hot. Nice thing is that we have these bay doors. We have one there and one over there. And we could open those to make getting all this stuff out a little easier. So this is just kind of like, our front desk area. The girls have to ring things through the POS just to take it out of inventory, and that's storage. The one thing I do want to rework a little bit more is this whole area here. This is just all the shipping boxes and bags and clearance section. So I do want to go through this a little bit more. I just ran out of steam. I was so exhausted last night, I couldn't even stand it. But I think that once I get it working a little better, it will be good. And this is where the girls sit to do your orders. So over here is the person who checks your order, because we triple check it. We check it once as we're picking it. We check it twice as it goes through the POS. And then a third time, a person sits here and checks it, packs it, and then it goes over to that chair for mailing. So we have a pretty good system. We have very few errors. And if we ever do have an error, please bring it to our attention. This person is sort of the catch-all person that does a little bit of everything. And this is where we do some processing for new beads. And then that whole area over there is all things shipping. So we've got like the shipping computer, and then we've got very crooked looking things over there. I don't know why they went so crooked, but just storage, and then our printer. And then I take pictures there sometimes, so I have those boards up there. And right now the sun belts in first thing in the morning, so until my hubby gets that window trimmed out, we can't even put any window covering, so sometimes we can't really work. And behind that door is just all the mechanical stuff. And then our really sad looking little kitchen, which, you know, one day we will make it better. And then this is where the girls sit to build all of the kits. And I will speak about the kits in a little bit on the next part of this video. This is all going to be changed. And then I'm moving some of the check glass over here. So right now I've got some pre-made kits mixed in with check glass, so it looks like a bit of a mess, but that needs to get worked on after I'm done my video. And then we, there's still boxes of stuff everywhere. We dejunked what would be our bathroom. We still don't have a bathroom here. The girls just run up to our house, which is fine, they don't mind. But this was just full of garbage. Like so many things brought from the store. So this has all been cleaned out. I still need to tweak some of my books and things like that. But I had the cupboards all edited and just threw out so much stuff that I didn't need any longer. And then this is a nightmare still. This is my office. We took out one of my desks because it was just too big. So I'm gonna get something either custom made or something that fits better, because I need something here. This is where all the beads go that come in, and I need to process them. So I need something better there, but you know, I'll find it. And then I work on two computers. I have my laptop, and then I have a Mac above, because sometimes I'm doing the pricing below and then the editing on the website above. And then this is still a mess. This is my filming area. We moved it because Savannah and I, when we were filming, we were jammed like right back to about this area, like right here. And we had no room to move. So we moved a table that was kind of useless back there and a few things. So we need a better lighting system for our videos. So this is my goal, is to edit this up a little bit. Those are baffles that I put on the wall to help stop some of the reverberation, you know, make the sound a little better. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do because they were just kind of propped up. So I might have to double-sided tape them up on the wall. And then we kind of reworked our background a little bit, had to sort of move it over. We moved Genevieve, the model, over, and yeah, just kind of move things around a bit. So that is it for the reworking of the workshop. Thanks for entertaining this today. I appreciate you. Make sure to like this video, because of course, who wouldn't want to like my video, right? Because I have now over 100,000 of you people that watch my videos. And two, make sure if you haven't subscribed that you do, because who wouldn't want to join in on the craziness that happens around here? And three, you can head to my website and have a little gander around. There's all kinds of great things. I have over 8,000 SKUs of all sorts of fabulous things that you need. And as always, I love you guys, and thank you very much for joining me on this crazy ride. All right, you have a great day.